What's going on, guys? Welcome to the pod. This is the Frag Effect. I am the Scent Bubble, and joined with me today is my bro, my brother from another mother, Compton's finest. Feel free, man. Take the stage.
You already know what's good, my people. It's your boy Kicks Griffey back in the building. Hopefully, everybody's well and well. We about to get into some stuff today. Thank you guys for joining us. Let's get it. Let's go.
Kicks, why don't you tell the people the topic for today?
You funny. You funny enough. Hey, this guy's a jokester. He already know. That's why I'm like, for real, we gonna do this? We gonna do this. And he did it on camera too, y'all. That's what I'm saying. Y'all don't know this guy. Y'all don't know this guy. Y'all think y'all know this guy. Y'all think y'all know him, but y'all really don't know him. No, you tell us what the topic is of discussion.
Anyway, the topic for today is house talk. Okay.
Okay.
And one particular house that people have always mentioned, but no one's done a deep dive. And so we're going to do it.
All right.
We're going to talk about Mancera.
Ooh. A beautiful house. A beautiful house. I don't care what nobody says.
Yep. So I want to break down a little bit of talk about Mancera. We're not going to get super deep. This will actually be a fairly quick episode, I think, but who knows with us two together.
Yeah.
We'll take 5 minutes and, what do they call that? Filibuster in court?
Yeah. Pretty much, man. You know how we do, people. It's not new.
Yeah, so we'll go into a little bit of house talk, and then I want to do some reflections at the end. I got a couple of blurbs of just miscellaneous information that I think will be fun fact stuff for you guys out there. Let's talk about the House of Mancera, though. Let's start with origins and brand story. So Mancera, for those of you guys who don't know, was founded in the year... Kicks, do you know?
No, I don't know.
They were founded in the... is it the recession? 2008?
Recession, yeah, 2008, 2009 was the 2000 recessions,
yeah. So they were founded in 2008. What immediately separates this brand from a lot of others is it was a father-daughter duo brand. And so it was started by Pierre Montal and his daughter. A lot of you guys have heard the name Montal because if you know anything about Mancera, you know that there's been some splits and somewhat rebranding in history there, which we'll get into later. But anyways, it started off as a father-daughter duo, working alongside his daughter, Emilie Montal, who was the artistic director. And so, yeah, that's how they got started. Their roots are in both Western French aesthetic design luxury and Middle Eastern perfumery inspirations, oud, amber, and exotic raw materials. The name Mancera is often tied to the idea of sanctuary or shelter, and this is symbolizing a perfumery blending travel, culture, and craftsmanship. So the visual identity of their bottles is that they want their bottles to be bold, Art Deco touches, geometric designs, luxurious materials such as gold plating, mother of pearl, etc., to reflect the East meets the West ethos. So I want you guys to keep in your head this idea of travel, culture, and craftsmanship. Right now we see culture blending the East and the West values. We see a little bit of craftsmanship in terms of their bottle identity, but travel is going to come into play in terms of the identity of their various fragrance scents. Before we move to that, though, what are your thoughts? Did you know it was a daddy-daughter duo?
No, I just know I don't want to go too far ahead because I know you're gonna let us know, but I was knowing about what everybody else know about, Montal and who Pierre Montal is. I knew about that, but I didn't know it was a daddy-daughter duo, and it reached like that. So no, good
Yeah.
information to know. Good information to know.
Yes. And, a lot of people consider Mancera to be entry level niche. You know, in fragrance community conversation, we like to put people in boxes and categories. And so we talk about entry level niche, but in terms of what the brand would say about their identity and fragrance, they strive to work with exotic raw materials and high quality. I think what you guys will find out shortly here is probably the single most reason people talk about them outside of the exotic raw materials, and that is the brand philosophy and what they stand for. Mancera emphasizes luxury, high-end quality raw materials, and they make it a super emphasis to bring strong projection and bold longevity. Now,
And that they do. That they
and,
do.
yeah, and so somebody just asked me today on my channel. They reached out and DM'd me and said, "Hey, you know, I know you guys have talked about Mancera a lot with projection and everything, but how's the longevity?" Well, I'm here to tell you, you know, I told the guy most of what I prescribe to in that house has amazing projection and at least 8 hours of longevity. And I just started thinking through every fragrance in my mind. And they all were, you know, 8+ hour fragrances. But to know that the brand has a identity emphasis by coming out and saying, hey, we want our fragrances to be bold, project like crazy, and have crazy amounts of longevity, just further emphasizes that kind of that's something they recognize and that they value. You know, when I talk to Michael Paul and he's making his fragrances, he's always trying to make that thing sing in the air and last forever. It's good to hear brands say that, because a lot of times you get scents where that might be of some importance, but definitely not of priority. And fragrances suffer because of that. You look at something like a Virgin Island water from Creed. The scent smells immaculate for 2 minutes.
Hey,
You know,
he's not lying. He's
so
not lying.
you're gonna feel some type of way about that. But to know the company's coming out and saying, "Hey, we want our stuff to be bold. We want it to last forever," that may be a serious talking point for you in terms of your investment in a house, is just knowing, hey, they're looking out for me. A lot of y'all be screaming about projection and longevity, and I understand. I ain't gonna knock you down. Who doesn't want their fragrance to go out in the air and last forever? Everybody. I've grown to a place where I have become Neo from the Matrix. You know, I will make a fragrance, manipulate, and succumb to my goals and desires as it relates to projection and longevity. So I don't care if the scent is immaculate. It's earned my dollar. But I know for a lot of you guys, it is a major turning point in your decision making. Is, does this thing last forever? Can I just spray it and lay it and walk away? So this house cares about that. They focus on travel, exoticism, and fusion of styles, a niche luxury house that builds scents that feel like a destination in a bottle. I thought this was cool to look at, Kicks, because when you think about it, yeah, they all kind of take you somewhere. You know, sometimes it's a luxury destination, but sometimes it's just a destination. Amora Cafe takes you to a coffee house, right? French Riviera takes you out to the seaside. Yeah. You know, but then I even think about, you know, Jardin Exclusive is like an exotic garden, heavenly bliss.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even Vetiver Sensual just takes you outside in the grass, getting beamed on by sunshine while eating citrus. You know what I mean? Like, so I was reading that and I was like, I was blown away by it. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like, duh. Like, I was thinking about everything. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I don't think takes me to a place might be like Instant Crush.
Yeah, that's more like play. Look, man, I like the way that they do things, man. And then you got like, they don't leave anybody out. Let me say that. You got Red Tobacco, right? For the guys that just really want that masculine, just right. And then you got Red Tobacco Intense, where it seemed like it should have been backwards. Like the intent should have been red tobacco, and the tobacco intent should have been red. It's nice though, right? They just meet everyone. They got Saharian winds, which is giving you a nice Middle Eastern spin and like a oud smell. It's beautiful. I mean, it's so many fragrances, man. If you're a rose lover, you got purple rose, you got all different types of fragrances for everyone. And they do last, and they do project, and they do give you what you pay for. And it's quite affordable too, even if it's full retail, right? We know that you can get it on discounters most of the time and pay only half the price of that retail. And then you think in 120, what is 120 mls? If you can find it for like 60, $80 on the discounter, ain't that a steal? Ain't that a steal in today's fragrance economy? I mean, that says a lot, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think when you said they have something for everybody, what it immediately made me think of is the daddy daughter duo, right? You have somebody who has been in the fragrance space, has the heritage and experience of seeing the game and having an older palette and knowing the familiar stuff that appeals to an older audience. But then you have this young daughter, half the age, who is hip and cool and innovative. And you get that the brand reflects that. I mean, there's stuff that feels teeny bop. There's stuff that feels like destination. There's stuff that feels sophisticated. There's stuff that feels spiced and outside of the States. You know what I'm saying? And so, what's cool is the way they do it though, because I always feel like no matter whether they're going in the complexity or the simplistic pocket, they all kind of have a Mancera voice in terms of their structure, their simplicity, their appeal. Even when they're experimenting, it's very understandable. You know,
Hmm.
they're not head scratching scents. They're just right in that sweet spot of craftsmanship but understandability. And I think that largely has to do with the fact that you've got a daddy daughter duo where you've got someone thinking about this realm of importance with fragrance, and then you got this hip chick going, well, I'm thinking about this stuff, and they can come together. That probably ultimately led to their split, you know? But what they've established in the meantime is just an incredible base where so many people can connect to their brand on so many different levels and have probably 4 or 5 bottles easily out the gate that they just love and they can wear all the time. As you mentioned, the price, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But man, in today's economy, 120 ml of juice for under $150. Their retail price sits at between $150 to $200. And we all know that Manceras are under $100 today on discounters. 120 ml of juice, great presentation, projection, longevity. What the heck else do you people want?
Pressurized atomizer, magnetic
Pressurized
cap.
oh my gosh. Yeah, bro. Oh my gosh. I forgot all that. Pressurized atomizer, magnetic cap. You got a Chanel feel to it. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
dude, everything is clear, gold, black,
Yeah.
bright. You know what I'm saying? Like they just
Look beautiful on the mantle, man. Oh my God. Oh my God. And what's crazy is that from your beginning of your journey up until now, it still could catch you. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you can grow out of the brand, right? You might have started in maybe going into the rack stores like most of us have, right? And some are still there. But you might have went ahead and went on to, niche and artisanal fragrances and different houses and independent housing, and then you can still go back to Mancera. Like it's still there. You can still use it. It's not like played. It's not like an old pair of cross-colored jeans, and you're trying to wear that in 2025, right? It's like you can still utilize it, which is a beautiful thing about Mancera.
the accessibility is a huge factor. Um,
True. True.
and I don't think it's possible to buy a Mancera fragrance and be upset.
I
You
could
just
agree with
you
that.
you're not going to be complaining about performance. You're going to have something bold. You're going to get a lot of juice. You're not going to feel cheap. Most people still haven't even heard of the brand outside of Fragcom, which is most of the world. You know, they just bring a lot to the table and every dollar counts. That is saying more than most of the game currently. So they're a special brand that I think a lot of people feel like they graduate from. I don't graduate from Mancera. I mean, every time I put it on, like um I feel like it's exactly what I wanted.
Dude, look at the stuff they've been dropping. Fig me up. What's it called? What's it called? Chikari Teray or whatever. Like, there's a lot of, and I've smelt it. I just can't pronounce it. I don't want to butcher it, but there's a lot of new fragrances. They constantly coming out with fragrances. They don't stop. They don't stop when we're talking about Mancera. Yeah, they just don't stop. You
Yeah.
know.
They're to me, they're the Apple experience of niche perfumery.
Hmm. That's a good way of putting it.
You know, I could picture you going into an Apple store, and if they expanded into fragrance, I could imagine all the Manceras lined up 40 bottles deep right above the laptops. And it's just like, oh, yeah, what's this? And it's the new hip thing. Um, you know, in a lot of ways, I feel like it's what companies like Replica try to do, but could never be, because they don't have the experience, I feel, at the scent profile level to, there's just a luxury left on the table with them, I feel. Whereas with Mancera, I always feel like you could argue the nicheness of them, but you can't argue the luxuriousness of wearing it in public. It always feels like you smell better than everybody you walk
It
past.
is true.
You know
It
what I'm
is
saying?
true. It is true. But you brought up something which I think it's segue into something. Explain to us the split, because I'm quite interested in that. You said there's a split.
That I'm not going to touch on because I left it out for a part two. Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead. Go
I
ahead.
left that out, but yeah, it is interesting to see kind of, because what basically happened was she kind of not strong armed the brand, but kind of took over, and and there was a lot of factors in that, and I want to make sure the research is correct. So
Okay.
I'm kind of back checking that, but yeah, she basically is almost leading the whole operation at this point. But anyways, so just to finish up on the brand philosophy, their perfumes frequently work in the unisex territory, though some clearly target men and women, and they are statement scents rather than ultra light background fragrances. So that goes back to the projection and longevity, is that they're fragrances that take you to a place and they make statements. Do you want anything else, people? No. Okay. Now that we got that cleared out of the way, the brand maintains a strong accent on craftsmanship and designs, both with the bottle and scent, aligning with what you would often talk about in terms of heritage, design, and storytelling. Now, let's move on to signature bottle and packaging concept. Every
Mm.
Mancera bottle is an identical shape, round, heavy, crystal, and differs only by its finish, color, and design, creating brand consistency with visual differentiation per scent. Packaging plays a big part of the experience. It's not just the scent, which aligns with your audience's interests in design and visual identity. Okay, blah, 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 blah. So let's talk real quick about. Um, Actually, before I segue here, I've always been curious from person to person. Do you like that they come in kind of a buried treasure kind of sack?
I think so. It gives something that's different. I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth. I don't like the gold one, but usually when they have like the black one, like that gold reflector one, I don't care for. But I'm not gonna lie though, I do use it for my spare change. When you're playing poker and shit like that, I like the bag. It's a nice, but I'm being funny and cheesy. But on a serious note, I do like the touch that it has. It's like, hey, look, you're getting a Mancera bottle. I love the uniform, and they just don't mess with that. I like it. I
I
like.
Part of me just wishes, the boxes look great, right? The bottles look great. Part of me just feels like they should have went with the LV bottle packaging, where you just have a cylindrical bottle that you pop off and it's a circular bottle, or have kind of a watch case, rectangle box that opens on some simple crushed velvet with the bottle just mashed and mounted into or molded into there. I feel like that would be it's almost like how would I compare it? It's like when you go to a restaurant and everybody knows and expects that when you take the food home, you're going to get a to-go box, right? Right. Then you got some of those places that might hit you with the cardboard material.
Yeah, that's what,
and you're like, bro, come on, bro. Like, okay, you're trying to be health conscious, whatever. But like, bro, let me just put it in the box and just set that thing on my seat. I don't want freaking paper mache and fold it up. Yeah. Like, it's almost like that bag feels out of place. Like, it's a cool item in and of itself, but I'm not going to take my luxury bottle and then drop it in like a change sack.
You know what? I think that they use that bag to make up for I ain't gonna lie, it's a cheap box. You know what I'm saying? That they put it in. So it's like you get this little generic, cheap looking box, but when you open it up, it's in a second. It's like almost like a wow factor, but you get so used to it after you have so many of them.
Yeah, after you've had one, that's over.
Yeah. You just like, give me the damn fragrance. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the change bag. Hey, it's used for, man, do you understand when I would get Mancera bottles, my wife's like, hey, let me get the bag. I'm like, no. That's like my Hennessy. That's like my Crown Royale bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when we playing, putting our change up in there, man. Yeah, nah. But it's cool though. I like it. I still like it. I ain't gonna front. I like my little extra bag.
Okay, so I wanted to mention this. Let's talk about fragrances for half a second. So I am going to give you a list of their. Again, we're not going to go into best sellers, but when I had ChatGPT look into this list, they did factor in sellability, but the number one factor was popularity of fragrance releases. So let's go through a quick timeline. In what's the earliest one? So the earliest instance was 2011 with the release of Cedrat Boisé and Roses Vanille. That was a Cedrat Boisé citrus woody. That was their flagship Mancera fragrance. Everybody knows Cedrat Boisé. Roses Vanille was vanilla rose gourmand with a strong appeal in the female unisex category. Those were the initial kind of flagship items that took that brand to new heights. And hold on one second. I just need to. Here we go. Then we have, which neither of us have smelled Roses Vanille. We've smelled Cedrat Boisé. You have?
I've smelled, yeah.
What do you think about it?
Rose Vanille is nice. I don't want to compare it to something else, but Rose Vanille, is just like, I'm gonna say it, Al Harmain's, the Dubai, not the blue bottle, the blue and purple one. Dang, it's a nice rose vanilla. I think it has cacao in there. It's nice, dude. It's really nice. But a lot of people have used the same kind of DNA. But I will say that Mancera does have the best version of it due to the quality of notes and the ingredients that they have. Yes.
Gotcha. And then next up, sorry, I grabbed the top 10, but they're not in order, so I'm just making sure I'm actually reading these in order. Next up, you have 2016 with the release of Sicily and Oud Lemon Mint, which Sicily, anyone who's a collector knows of Sicily. A lot of the younger audience, I think Lemon Oud Mint is one of the more mass appeal in terms of name recognition. Lemon Oud Mint is not going to be the first fragrance you get from Mancera, but it probably might be your third through fifth acquisition if you're in the younger crowd, I feel. Which Lemon Oud Mint was a distinct blue oud mint fragrance twist. And then Sicily is a fruity citrus profile. And it's got some deep orientals in the background. Both great fragrances. I know you've smelled those, right?
Yes, I have them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have 2018 with one of my favorites, Jardin Exclusive, which is a versatile luxury garden inspired scent. And then we have Hindu Kush, which was more of a niche aficionado type of underground enthusiast drop. It certainly gets a lot of name shock factor, you know. And but definitely a unique scent. And then we have 2022 with Tonka Cola,
Coca-Cola, beautiful.
which we hear all the time. You know, that fragrance gets thrown in the air with, guys, don't crucify me. It's just his facts. But it gets thrown in the air with Creation E, also known as Enigma. I've recently been comparing Ambar Dominicano fragrances with Coca-Cola or a cola accord in them. A lot of people will ask me, hey, what should I get? Tonka Cola or Enigma? Enigma or Ambar Dominicano? Tonka Cola, how close are they? What's the difference? Do they all smell the same? So don't slay me in the comments. This is just facts. That Tonka Cola is something that the younger crowd is thinking about, and their main apprehension is, will Enigma or Creation E smell too old for them? Right? And that's a valid point, because Creation E does have a agedness to it. It's not one of those.
It has a maturity.
Yeah, it's not pretty Coca-Cola. It's grown Coca-Cola. You know,
with some age on it. You got some age on it.
Right. So that makes a lot of sense. And I honestly feel like Ambar Dominicano from day 3, it sits actually in the middle of them. It's not too,
I agree.
It's not too grown. It's definitely not too juvenile, but it sits right in the middle. Anyways, and that's not the only cola fragrances, but those get mentioned to me the most. And then lastly, so that was 2022, 2023. We have, in 2017 was also Red Tobacco, rich, syrupy tobacco, woody oriental, which surprisingly today, the young kids can't stop talking about Red Tobacco, whether they own it or they're just interested in getting it. I have a weird theory. Let me know what you think about this.
All right, talk about it.
A lot of young people rack store it up, right?
True.
And what is one of the most accessible dupes that you're going to find on a TJ Maxx shelf out in the open?
TJ Maxx. You're going to find a fake. Well, I don't. Cut that. You're going to find inspired by Mancera fragrances. You'll find one. I don't even know if they don't call it Red Tobacco. What do they call it?
They call it all kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it looks just like the Mancera bottle. And you can get it for $16.99.
Red Tobacco might be a fragrance that I have seen the most variations of cheap clones to. There are, just at TJ Maxx, you will find 4 or 5 different brands, Milestone Perfumes, all these little podunk brands that, Red Tobacco, the profile in and of itself is pretty easy to get. It's just the quality difference. But that little bit of quality difference makes all the difference in the world for that profile, because you have red and you have tobacco. So they all nail the red, and then the quality of the tobacco is just sharp as crap. But the reason I bring that up is because I think a lot of people's curiosity in Red Tobacco is people that are kids or people just getting into the fragrance game start rack shopping. You're going to find a buttload of Red Tobacco clones, and you're going to scratch your head and wonder, like, what's the real thing smell like? Because think about it. Red Tobacco sounds like a mature scent, right? But I've never had a grown man ask me about it. I've only had kids ask me about it, under 25.
Wow, that's crazy.
Isn't that interesting? And I think the reason
Yeah.
why is because the rack store culture, they've come across the profile and they kind of dig it and want to know if they should upgrade and get the real thing.
You know what though, man? That's why I say it's always best just to go ahead. There's so many decanters out there, dude, where you can really get your nose and your experience on it before investing. And then not only that, man, red tobacco is quite affordable right now. It is quite affordable. I think you can get red tobacco for around about like $80, if not cheap. If
Yeah.
not less than that, you know, but
Let me say
neither
this.
here.
Number one, I hate red tobacco. Let me throw that out there. But
It's heavy.
number two, that aside, red tobacco is very intense, even without the intense. So the good news for you guys who are interested in it is that you don't need a lot of it. I think a 30 ml would last you 2 lifetimes.
Yeah, it's
Because
potent.
it's a 2-spray killer. You know what I'm saying? It is the Diaghilev of McDonald's level perfumery to me. but
Mm.
but and the other thing I wanted to just mention is I think red tobacco is a profile that you have to buy the real thing. I've
Oh,
never seen
definitely.
I've never
Yeah.
seen a clone do it justice. It's the same thing with I don't think you can get a Tobacco Vanille clone. I think you have to get Tobacco Vanille the real thing because the nuance. And again, I don't even like Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford, but I'm self-aware enough to know that the nuances within that fragrance, even though they feel sharp and synthetic, the dry down is really where it starts to find its groove. And the nuances and how that fragrance feels I've never seen achieved as good as or even close to in a clone, with the exception of maybe, your Charuto Vanille or whatever, and a couple of those other ones.
I
They're
like those.
good, but they're not Tobacco Vanille. They don't hit
No,
with
it's
that
not.
Tom Ford feel. So
Yeah.
I think red tobacco is a scent you really can't play with. You have to go all in. But the good news is you could go on micro perfumes, get a freaking 10 ml, 15 ml, and that'll last you at least a year. I truly believe that. Truly.
It's heavy, y'all. Y'all don't understand. If you never smelt it, it is very heavy. And I personally don't like the original red tobacco. I like intense. Intense is more palatable for me, just from my own personal experience. So
I
yeah.
like, to me, you know what I say? I say Prada Luna Rosa Le Parfum
Ah,
or Ambar Dominicana. If you want that red feel with some edges. Ambar I don't think has the tobacco, but it's got some edgy hair in the scent that mimics what tobacco would do. Le Parfum feels like a much more disciplined red tobacco, but nonetheless, I'm aware that I am the minority. A lot of people love that scent profile. And I can rock with that. But yeah, that took over in 2017. Again, 2018 was Hindu Kush and Jardin exclusive. 2022 Tonka Cola, and then 2023 Amora Cafe, which is another one that we hear about. That's another fragrance where a grown man has never asked me about Amora Cafe. 25 and
mm,
under, I get buttloads of questions. Hey, Kamrakawa, the new Kamra, Amora Cafe, La Tacita de Cafe, day 3. They bring up all these scents and say, can I go clone? Should I go up to niche? Do I have to pay the extra dollar? And I think all of those scents are quite different. I think it's the same vibe, but I think they feel different. So it really is like a get your nose on all of it for me. But that's another one where it's very popular amongst the young crowd is these coffee scents. And I think Kamra has shown us that. The flankers of Kamra have shown us that. Amora Cafe has certainly shown us that. It's funny. La Tacita de Cafe was the first scent in that profile category that I actually enjoyed as a fragrance. Because I find with that profile, I never had a use case for it. I'm not the type of guy that would be
mm.
like, I want to smell like a latte while I sip a latte. Could you imagine SB saying some dumb stuff like that?
Hey, dude, you don't like anything. Honestly, man, you don't like anything that's like a super vanilla, fluffy, playful type of a huff and puff type of smell, dude. You've expressed
I
that
don't like
quite
food.
well.
I don't like smelling
Yeah.
like food at all.
And look, man, I feel you. There's just certain fragrances that work and some that don't. Me personally, I think a good coffee smell works if you're out, and it has to be a special type of time. Meaning for me, if I see the wind blowing and it's this autumn fall time, yeah, Amore Cafe, shotgun
Hmm.
shook that up, go out there, man, and it just embodies that autumn, Thanksgiving, October type of feel. November now, we're getting into December. So I always look at that around the holidays type of feel for me. Would I wear that in spring, summer, or anything like that? No, it's truly seasonal for me, but to each his own.
Yeah. Real quick for me, tell the people scents that we haven't mentioned here that you think people should consider from the House of Mancera
From the House of Mancera, look,
that weren't
if you
mentioned just
like,
now in the top 10.
oh, that weren't just mentioned in the top 10 that I could say that I like. Fig Me Up is beautiful. Fig Me Up, you think, oh, fig. No, it's this nice, beautiful, fruity, but not, it could be for both. It's unisex. You just got to get your nose on it. Fig Me Up is nice. Another one that I like Saharian Wind. Is perfect for right now, if you like a deep Middle Eastern twist with that like oud type of resin smoke type of smell, Saharian Wind is
It's
not for the
nice.
faint of heart. Um, Another one that I like, I love. Well, we already mentioned that one. We mentioned that one. We mentioned that one. Holidays. I like
Mm-hmm.
holidays.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Holidays is a very floral. You gotta like floral. But my God, will your woman like it? She will steal the bottle from you because it kind of like leans. You got to be okay with the floral. It kind of leans a little, you know, white floral, jasmine. I think it has a little bit of jasmine in there. But if you are a confident man, you can wear that, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. What is another one I could think of? I know I'm gonna mention it still because it's one of our favorites. Vetiver Sensual. I'm a vetiver hater, but that fragrance, the way that they mix vetiver with the citrus, is just absolutely to die for. It's the citrus burst, okay, with this freshness. It smells like there's like this heliotrope. It just felt fresh. You know what I'm saying? With
Mm-hmm.
citrus, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, man. Um, and some people love French Riviera. I know we mentioned it. I don't. It's beach. If you need a beach type of vibe, Phil, you going to a bonfire or something like that. You want to beach bum it up
You're a
and
spoiled brat with tropical fragrances.
yeah, yeah.
That's why you don't
I
like
am.
it. You're
Yeah, yeah,
spoiled.
yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, so be it. So be it. I'm saying, look, if we're gonna do tropical, man, give me the realistic, like fragrances. I need to smell like the seawater. I need to smell
Mm-hmm.
coconut. If it's mango, I need to smell fruits. It can't
Yeah.
just be fruits. It got to be like highlighted into the fragrance. You got to transport me to a vacation. That's the thing with me with tropical fragrances. But any other man, sir? I mean, there's so many. The catalog is so vast.
Yep.
I'm telling you, you guys gotta, you know, start your adventure with Mancera. That's all
Yeah.
I could tell you.
And I'll add to that conversation. I'll say a couple that you left out. Amberful,
Oh, Amberful, yeah, 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 yeah.
and Pearl.
Pearl, I have not smelled. I know I need to get my nose on it. I
Yeah.
have not smelled
And,
Pearl.
even what's the one? Black and something. Black and gold. Is it?
The Black Noir, is it Black Noir? I got it. I got the decanter somewhere. I know which one you're talking about. It's
Yeah.
black and gold. I think it's Black Prestigium. I think it's a Prestigium. Oh, you guys
I
gonna have
think
me
it's
look it
just
up?
called black. It's either called black. There's three black and gold bottles, but the one I'm talking about is called
It's called Black Gold. It's called Black
Black Gold.
Gold.
Black Gold. There we go.
Black Gold. It's called Black Gold. They call it Black Gold. And let me look. Black Noir. They got a Black Noir. I'm looking at it right now. It's for everyone. And that one is beautiful. Real quickly, because I brought it up, the top notes is pink, black pepper, and lavender. Middle notes is Cambodian oud with patchouli leaves, Cuban tobacco leaves, and Thierry blossoms. Base note is tonka bean, vanilla pods, gray amber, and vetiver roots. Oh, yeah, and the bottle is absolutely sexy. It got almost like this Azteca type of look. In all black, it looked badass with a gold
It looks
a
sick.
gold top.
You know, that's
Yeah,
another
yeah.
thing about Mancera is like for schnobs like us, we have more of like a top 5. But I honestly think like most Manceras are worth considering for your guy that's sitting under 50 bottles. Like, because we could even say stuff like Cosmic Pepper, Aqua Wind. You know, there's I mean they're all considerable, right? And I mean,
Yeah.
we feel the way we feel because we've smelled just everything under the sun. And here's the other thing I wanted to mention, and I want to know your thoughts on this.
I'm listening.
Mancera fragrances are synthetic.
True.
Okay. Now, most of you guys in Fragcom associate synthetic with fake or unnatural. And I do exactly mean that here. But what's unique about Mancera, and Kix, I want you to weigh in on this because I've never asked your opinion on this. I think what separates Mancera from everybody else is typically when you smell synthetics, and almost all fragrances have some level of synthetics because when you're making accords, you know, in binders and things like that, it contributes a lot to the longevity and the stability of a fragrance and stuff like that. But what I feel about Mancera is there's a difference where a lot of fragrances smell top synthetic, meaning out the gate, it's unnatural. I feel as though Mancera's top always remains pretty natural, not natural, pretty darn natural. But their underbelly is what is synthetic. Like, you know, it's there. It's like the heart is synthetic. Like it almost feels as if they put the same synthetic compound in all of them in the heart. And that's what's used to give it that beast projection and longevity. So it's just kind of like a little bite underneath the fragrance that is like, oh, okay, I know there's some synthetics in here. But to me, like in the projection and in the air, I don't feel like it screams fake fragrance or screechy. Like normally all their fragrances, even their most bright fragrances, have a smoothness to them. They're not edgy, they're not bitey. And so again, what's different about Mancera is they're not synthetic in the sense that the opening and the projection of the fragrance is hard to palate. It's more of a, you can smell in the body and in the slight lack of complexity. Some of their scents are more simplistic, that their body of the fragrance is probably synthetic. And you kind of get that tint where it's not going to feel like a Roja in terms of its body, but it's not trying to. You know, so I think that's what's different for me is when I normally smell synthetics, they're top heavy, bright, projective synthetics that stick out and they're annoying to deal with. I don't find Manceras to feel annoying in the air on my nose.
Okay. Well, with me, since I'm leaning in on the subject, with Mancera, with me, man, I feel like, yeah, it is synthetic, but their synthetic is and I used to think Mancera changed my minds on synthetics, and this is the reason why I say that. When it comes down to synthetics, when you smell some that are like that, it is very screechy. It's very chemically like a chemical mess, right? Where Mancera is more smooth. It's more it's just a well-tuned like
Well
fragrance.
tuned is dead perfect. I love that description. I was gonna say
That's
taste.
exactly
I was gonna say tastefully synthetic, but I like well tuned because that has to deal with balance. They've balanced
yeah.
it in such a way where it is not disrupting the fragrance at all.
Yeah, so that's what I get with Mancera, and it's not where you're like smelling, you're like, oh, it's palatable. No, you smell it, you're like, this is good, right?
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
kind of gives you a different outlook on what synthetics smell like. I was a person that was like, synthetics is synthetic is synthetic. It's all synthetic, right? And that's not necessarily the case. There's levels of synthetic uh, um, ingredients and notes and stuff of that nature. And Mancera just well, they just fine tuned it, and I like it. I like it, and I have no problems with wearing it or saying it.
Yeah.
Mancera just does a great job with their composition and the DNA of their fragrances.
You got to really ignore fragcom as you process the concept of synthetics in perfumery because it's in everything. And and it's like, let me ask you this. Would you rather have a fragrance that's more ethically raw material, natural, but still lacks balance? You're going to feel the same way. You're going to say this sticks out, that sticks out, this is trash. It has nothing to do with synthetics. Even if you have synthetics, which everything typically has at some degree, it's all about balance. Is the composition balanced? Is the star of the show the star of the show? Or do you have something else stealing attention, being disruptive, being annoying, being pesky,
Mhm.
and every fragrance is capable of falling into that error, no matter how natural or how fake it is. We know of tons of fake synthetic DNAs that we absolutely love. So it comes down to balance and composition. So I just wanted to say real quick as we wrap up, and then I'll get your final thoughts. So things to reflect on with this brand. So when you spray a Mancera fragrance, you're not just picking a scent, you're wearing a story about travel. It's transportive. It takes you to a place or to a destination. Their fragrances are bold, projective, beastly but not nuclear, and it's for the person who wants more than just another brand. They want narrative, they want aura and presence in a bottle. Now, the thing that you should also remember is they have a ton of selections. This is a brand where you won't graduate from them anytime soon. You could literally sit with them for several years and have a lot to choose from. And because of their price point, you can try all of them. Like you could probably take a legit $50 and try everything in the house. And that's incredible. When you could try an entire house for that price point, that's special. You're always going to get 120 ml. Always.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
Always going to
Yeah.
get 20 ml more than the last brand you looked at. That's incredible. I mean, look at it like this. With Mancera, you get a 20 ml travel spray with your fragrance. I mean, look at it.
Wow, so you don't even put a dent in your
You
100.
don't, you don't
Look
even
at that.
you probably won't even put a dent in the bottle for quite some time. Or you can pivot and for my decanters out there, great fragrances to share. You got 120 ml. Hey bro, take
Yeah.
5. Hey bro, you know what? I used to give you the 1.5 mLs. I'm gonna send you the 3 ml this time because look at all the we got Hennessy on tap. With Mancera, you can share that thing to 10, 20 people and not even crack a dent in the
Pretty much.
100 ml portion. So you always get 120 ml. The price point retail is about 150 to 200, but at every discounter, you won't pay more than $125 for the new releases. And for anything that's been out for any amount of time, you won't pay more than 100. Many of their flagship scents go for between the $70 and $90 price point, pretty much anywhere you look for them. And during the holidays, you won't pay more than about 70 out the gate. So
Whoa.
unnatural pricing. The wearability, so much wearability out of these scents. Even though they take you to a place, they're scents that you want to put on and you feel good wearing. So the more you feel good when you have a fragrance on, the more you'll make excuses for it, regardless of where it takes you. You know, if you're wearing French Riviera to the beach and anything near water and you feel good about it, you're going to wear it to work one day just to say, screw it. You're going to wear it while you run errands. Today, I'm going to smell like a beach while I'm walking down to Safeway grocery store. That's what I'm going to do. I do that with Vetiver Sensual. It's my work scent. I wear it to work when I want to feel like, you know, bright and uplifted and classy, but I'm going to wear that joint to the mall, to the grocery store, wherever, because it's bright citrus in a bottle, and who can argue against that? So the wearability and versatility on these scents, despite them being destination scents, is incredible. And I want to just, 2 more points, and Kix, I want you to take it home. There's something to be said about the simplistic nature of these scents. They have just enough complexity to feel niche, but not too much where it goes out of the realm of versatile wearability. And I think there's something special about that when you can make a scent that scratches the itch of complexity, but is simple and understandable enough to make excuses to wear it anywhere. That can't be stressed enough. And the fact that you get 120 ml to do that, I nuke myself with Mancera fragrances. When I'm wearing a Mancera fragrance, I'm shotgunning to no avail. It's just a fun, you love the atomizer, you got 120 ml of juice, you didn't pay that much for it. You know, it's like, it's just abundance, you know, and that's a fun, that's a fun vibe. But the last thing I just want to end on is, as I was thinking about it, Kix, I see a lot of striking resemblance in the brand model and style between this house and Day 3. 2 completely different perfume hands making the scents, right? But there's a lot of parallel, you know, the brand in terms of destination scents, places, the fact that the perfumers are trying and being creative and trying to innovate in the space, but they also don't want to not be mass appealing. You know, when I read that, I've heard Michael's voice, you know, he's told me a million times, you want people to want to wear your perfume a lot. There's nothing better than walking by people and getting a compliment and making somebody feel good. And a lot of people feeling like they want to wear your scents. And so similarly, Mancera scratches that itch. You know, they're trying to make high-end perfumery, be creative, but also have mass appeal, be appealing to a lot of different people. And then, you know, just the creative spin and the simplicity of the bottle design, you know, that luxury, simple feel, that's Michael. You know what I'm saying? Their bottle structures and everything are very simple, but very elegant and classy. The story, the heritage, all that stuff. Their brand identity is mixing the East and the West, right? So they're trying to combine kind of Middle Eastern stuff with Western thought in terms of the scent profiles. You know, with Michael, he's oftentimes mixing the heritage of the Dominican Republic with kind of his own personal scent memories. So there's like a kind of cross pollination of ideas impacting the fragrances. So I just, and you know, where Day 3's price point started at and everything, they just kind of, you know, I saw a lot of cross path going on there. Now I do think Michael's scents punch a little higher in terms of the depth factor, but in terms of the story and the approach to the perfumery, I saw some resemblance there. Yeah, that's all I got wrapping up on Mancera. What is there anything that stuck out to you?
Man, honestly, just check out Mancera. Believe me, you will not be disappointed. Look, if you want to see exactly what it is, go buy a Neiman Marcus. If you can't, go buy off Saks. You know, there's places that you can go and they have testers out there. Smell it, see what you like, put it on your skin. Go walk around. I'm guaranteeing you, check it out, smell it there, do your Googles, people, and find the one that you will like. I guarantee it will be a bang for your buck. You'll smell great and you'll stand out. Trust.
Absolutely. And I also want to say, you know, Mancera, is a house that every age owns, right? Grown men, grown women all talk about and have at least a bottle of Mancera. The kids love Mancera, Amora Cafe, Instant Crush, Red Tobacco, French Riviera, Tonka Cola. The list goes on, right? And so with the 120 ml, you probably know people who have Manceras, and you guys can trade, trade juice. There's an abundance of juice there. So, definitely. And then because of their price point, decants are very inexpensive of these brands. You can get them for $3-4 pretty much anywhere. They got discovery sets, again, online. Go into the luxury perfume houses if you have them. And the last thing I want to say is this. When I first learned about Mancera, everything that everybody else liked was nothing that I liked when I came into the picture.
True.
So the reason I say that is because, like Kick said, go try everything. And I think everybody, they kind of come in lightly and kind of start with the flagship scents. But everything I wind up seeing my people gravitate towards is nothing that they thought they would have. I have friends that love the whole Instant Crush route and the French Riviera and the Tonka Cola. I know people that like the Amora Cafe route. I know people who like more of the Pearl, Jardin Exclusive, Cosmic Pepper, stuff like that. I know people who like the Vetiver Sensual and the Amberful and the Sicily and more of the citrus stuff. There's just something for everybody. So don't just try the flagship stuff, Cedrop Boisé, and all that, and then keep it pushing. I think you'll probably find that there's a fragrance or two you gravitate towards that you haven't heard anyone talk about. But the brand is so accessible, like, bro, could you imagine if Mancera had what Javoy did, 18 or 16 2 ml discovery set? I feel like they would sell like hotcakes.
Oh yeah. I believe they would, but then again, market wise and strategically, I think they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think they know what they're doing. So it's all good. It's all good.
Hey, I'm gonna make my own Mancera discovery sets. We're gonna put that on Whatnot, and we're gonna
hey, be careful. Be careful out there, my guy. Be careful. Be careful.
I'll change the name. I'll change the name. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, guys, hey, listen. This was the Frag Effect with my boy Kicks, talking about the House of Mancera. I know we didn't do a super deep dive, but this is mainly just, learning a little bit more, sharing our own personal experience with these houses and kind of curating that. And it's just a starting point for us to appreciate brands more. I really feel like Mancera, people kind of in their mind graduate from them after but it's like, bro, how many Mancera bottles do you have? 3. It's like, bro, they got like 45 cents. Like, oh, you graduated from them now? Okay. Anyway, and when we talk about, these debates and even Fragrance Court, which you guys should definitely check out with Kicks. He's got his Fragrance Court. Price seems to be a very critical factor for people's shopping experience. I'm not surprised by that, but the reason I'm mentioning it is because we never have to talk about price when it comes to Mancera. So accessible. Mancera will never be debated on from the standpoint of price. They are priced dead perfect. And so explore the house. Like guys, it is a blessing to have a house that is great, checks almost all the boxes all the time, and has a stacked roster of scents. Do you need anything else? Get your butt out there and go try them. In the comments section, this is going to be exciting. Everybody post the bottles that you own. Not what you like, not what you're thinking about getting. I want to know, what Mancera bottles do you own? Put it in the comments below. Tell me what you think about the house. Yeah. For all you guys who are super collectors, send me everything you got. Even if you guys are travel spray guys, I'll let you list your travel sprays.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with travel sprays. Hey, I got a crap load of them over there. We're laughing is because shit, we got over like I'm pretty sure we're in the 500s, if not more.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We do travel sprays. We got a lot of travel.
Bro, did you see Gator's invisible duffel bag full of micro perfumes?
No, I remember you told me about it. I just haven't seen it, man.
Gator has like a Nicki Minaj bougie, like Cardi B looking invisible, you know, the invisible plastic.
Yeah,
he's got a plastic invisible duffel bag full of micro perfumes. Wow. It looks like he went to a mall and just shoved every case into his bag.
Hey man, he might as well just give him out, huh? Smell this, smell that.
Bro, he could get his Oprah on in a minute with that bag.
Yeah,
I mean,
hey, might as well do giveaways. Hey, speaking of, real quickly, y'all. This thing comes in handy. Oh man, I just had to do it. It was funny right here and stare me this damn gold bag, man.
I should have sent you mine, bro. I know in my garage I got a couple of those just sitting behind.
Man, I got a box of them. I got like 50 Manceras, dude. I got all these bags, dude.
All right, man. Well, hey, listen. Kicks, you got anything else for the people?
No, just check out my guy. You guys already know what it is. Check out your boy Kicks Griffey. Check out Fragrance Court. Check out Kicks Griffey After Dark. Thank you, my guy, for bringing me on once again. And people, welcome and good luck on your journey.
Hey man, the Frag Effect would be nothing without Mr. Griffey, man. Or should I say the Honorable Judge Kicks?
Hey, the Honorable Judge Kicks, dude. Where's my gavel? Y'all check it out. Y'all check it out.
Absolutely. And guys, on the left and right side of the screen here, for those of you who don't know, the Frag Effect runs every week in full effect. And so I'm going to put on the left and right hand side previous episodes that you might find yourself interested in. Again, we have to head out, but the party don't got to stop now. You can continue to watch the Frag Effect. For all my creatives out there, hey, listen, man, I'm not a good chaser, but I'm fully willing to open up the conversation to the community. So certain people that are creators specifically in this space, if you want to get on and get into the conversation, we do this every week, reach out to me via email or DM. I'd love to have more people in on these conversations. Again, some are at random, some are more intentional, but we try to keep a good, healthy conversation about perfumery going on at least once a week. So anyways, check out some of these videos while we sign off. We appreciate you. Hope you have a blessed week. And until next time, take care, man. Peace.
Peace.